How did Iran manage to strike US allies across the Middle East, even after being hit by hundreds of American Tomahawk cruise missiles and losing much of its air defense network? The answer lies deep underground. Iran has spent decades preparing for this exact scenario. Instead of keeping its missile arsenal exposed on open bases, many of its ballistic missiles are hidden inside mountain tunnels and underground launch facilities, making them extremely difficult to destroy in a first strike. And among those weapons is something that has made military planners around the world pay close attention. A missile Iran claims can travel at hypersonic speed. Iran's newest missile system, known as the Fattah, is claimed to be capable of reaching speeds between Mach 5 and Mach 20. That's up to 17,000 kilometers per hour, or roughly 10,000 miles per hour. At those speeds, even the most advanced air defense systems have very little time to react. Systems like Iron Dome, Arrow, and David's Sling rely on detecting a missile, tracking it, and launching an interceptor before it reaches its target. But hypersonic weapons move so fast and maneuver so aggressively that interception becomes incredibly difficult. Iranian officials have even claimed that the Fattah missile has successfully penetrated Israeli air defenses, striking high-value targets including military facilities and intelligence centers. The Fattah missile works differently from traditional ballistic missiles. First, a solid fuel booster rocket launches the missile into the upper atmosphere at extremely high speed. Once it reaches high altitude, the booster separates. What remains is the hypersonic glide vehicle, which carries the warhead. Instead of following the predictable arc of a traditional ballistic missile, this glide vehicle re-enters the atmosphere and begins maneuvering toward its target. It typically flies at altitudes between 12 and 30 kilometers, while traveling at speeds greater than Mach 5. As it approaches its target, the vehicle drops lower and performs sharp evasive maneuvers. These sudden changes in direction make the missile extremely difficult for radar systems to track. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which follow stable parabolic trajectories, the Fattah can change its path mid-flight, confusing air defense algorithms designed to intercept more predictable threats. Another challenge for Israeli defense systems is geography. Israel is a very small country. In fact, Iran is roughly 75 times larger than Israel. This difference in size creates a major strategic advantage for Iran. Missile launch sites can be hidden across vast areas of mountains and deserts, making them extremely difficult to locate and destroy. Meanwhile, Israel's narrow geography means that almost any missile launched toward the country can reach its target within minutes. At its narrowest point, Israel is only about 15 kilometers wide. That leaves very little time for detection, warning, and interception. Following the initial strikes against its military infrastructure, Iran launched retaliatory missile and drone attacks across the region. These strikes targeted US bases and allied facilities throughout the Middle East. For example, Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE was struck, causing casualties. The headquarters of the US Fifth Fleet in Bahrain was targeted. Air defenses in Qatar intercepted incoming missiles. Across Israel, warning sirens sounded as interception systems lit up the skies over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. The region quickly entered a state of high alert. But Iran's strategy against the United States doesn't rely on direct confrontation. Instead, it focuses on asymmetric warfare. Rather than trying to match the US Navy ship for ship, Iran aims to overwhelm stronger forces using unconventional tactics. These tactics are designed to exploit geography, surprise, and sheer numbers. One of Iran's most famous naval tactics is known as the swarm attack. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy operates hundreds of small fast attack boats. Instead of attacking a US destroyer one at a time, dozens of these boats can launch simultaneously from multiple directions. Each boat may carry rockets, heavy machine guns, or anti-ship missiles. The goal is simple: overwhelm the ship's defensive systems with more targets than it can destroy at once. Another major tactic involves naval mines. Iran possesses thousands of mines that could be deployed in the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway through which a large portion of the world's oil supply passes. These mines could be dropped by submarines, small boats, or disguised civilian vessels. The goal would not only be military, it would also create global economic shock, potentially sending oil prices skyrocketing. Iran's rugged coastline provides excellent cover for mobile missile launchers. Truck-mounted anti-ship missiles can hide in mountain valleys and move quickly after firing. This tactic, known as shoot and scoot, allows Iranian forces to launch attacks and relocate before enemy forces can strike back. In a conflict, this could turn the Persian Gulf into a dangerous missile kill zone. Iran also operates small diesel-electric submarines, such as the Ghadir-class mini-sub. Unlike large nuclear submarines, these smaller vessels are well suited for the shallow waters of the Persian Gulf. They can sit silently on the seafloor and wait for a target to pass overhead. Once in position, they can launch torpedoes or deploy naval mines, potentially threatening large naval vessels. Iran has also invested heavily in drone technology. In a conflict, waves of drones could be launched toward US ships or bases. Some drones would conduct surveillance. Others would function as loitering munitions, essentially flying bombs designed to crash directly into their targets. The objective would be to overwhelm defenses and disable critical radar systems. Even after facing massive airstrikes, Iran still possesses a wide range of weapons and strategies designed to challenge stronger militaries, from hypersonic missiles and underground launch sites to swarm attacks, submarines, and drone warfare. The country's military doctrine is built around one idea: making the battlefield as difficult and dangerous as possible for its opponents.